Okay. Um. Okay. So Rachel is here.
Stop.
Hmm?
Good day, everyone. You are all welcome to Impact 45 once again. And with us today, we'll be having a very good guest of ours, a passionate teacher of the word, a teen and youth discipler reaching out to the young people through a school program called Phineas Generation. She's a nurse and a mother of three big and wonderful nations. Welcome with me, Pastor Mrs. Adeleke Oluwayemi Yemisi. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
It's so nice
Thank
to
you.
have you here, ma. And for every
Happy
of
to be
our
here.
viewers all around, it's so nice to have you all here with us again. Last week we were talking about marriage and family matters, and today is just a continuation of it, where we'll be discussing about 21st century parenting, the challenges, and of course, the solution to the challenges they face. You are welcome once again, madam.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Happy to be here.
We are glad. So, for my first question with you today, remember, the economic situation of Nigeria is not really very pleasing, which is actually making everybody double their hustle, like people will always say. So, how do parents actually manage the demand of work and then their family life? What are the strategies they use to provide family time? Because the children will also demand time, work is also demanding time, and with the way the economy is, a lot of people will actually want to provide for the family. Of course, family needs provision. How do parents in this 21st century manage the demand for work and family life?
All right. That's one of the challenges of the 21st century parenting. Just like you said, the economic situation is making every parent to double up, wanting to provide for the family. But the truth is this, while we are trying to provide for the family, we must not at the same time neglect our parental role. The parental role and the financial demand must be met. But if care is not taken, you discover that these days there is more focus because of the economic challenge that we have currently. There's more focus on providing for the family than focusing on our parental role of raising these children. So I believe that we must just be able to set our priorities right. Yes, do we need to provide for our children? Very important, and that's very key. But while we are trying to do this, we should still remember that it doesn't matter how much money we are able to make. It doesn't matter how much you are able to bring back home. If you are bringing it back home to a child that is left to herself, left to himself, the money you have brought back is meaningless. So while you are trying to do that, set out strategies. Okay, I'm going to hustle. I'll be going to work from this social time to this social time. Create time out of no time. Create time, to be with these children. Create time, to listen to them so that at the end of the day, in a bid to get more money, in a bid to touch the family more financially, you don't end up neglecting your primary assignment. So I think we just need to put up strategies that will make us fulfilled, financially, at the same time fulfilled, in our parental role. And it boils down to creating time. What time to what time do you get engaged? Looking for money, hustling. What time do you think you are free? That time should be used for your family. And then we can get a positive outcome from that. Thank you, Ma.
Thank you very much for that response. Because I actually want us to be, I want to say to be more practical, but I also want us to break it down for parents who actually do not really, that might not really catch the grasp of all you have said. You have spoken so well, setting priorities right, and ensuring that they create time out of no time. Now, for parents, I once lived in let me still say, I still live in an environment where we have parents whose work actually take too much of their time. Like, they're out of the house as early as 6:30 a.m. Once they dress the child and the child has gone to school, they are back from work very, very late, probably branching at the crèche or a nursing home to pick up the child as late as 8 or 9 p.m. And by the time they say they want to have time with the child, they're just trying to make dinner. And once the child finishes eating, sometimes the child might even sleep off before eating. They will just wake the child will eat and then go back to bed. What advice will you give parents who are actually striving to make money, but no matter how they try, their work is still taking so much of their time? So much of their
Okay.
time.
Okay. All right, now, thank you very much. Now, what such parents should do is this. Now, you will not say the parents should not work. Of course,
Of course.
work is essential. Work is important, and they must work. Now, where it is possible for the parents to get a better job, why not? You can look out for a better job. Sometimes the job may not pay you as much as the one you have currently, but you are sure of something, that you are able to create time out of your current job for your family, which is key. Now, I'm going to set myself as an example. I once worked with the government. And I worked as an anesthetist. That's my specialty. And because of my specialty, sometimes I go to work and I'm there for 24 hours.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes, I'm there for 24 hours. I go from 8 to 8 the following day.
I think we're having Mrs. Adeleke is
Can
having some little challenges with
I
her
guess
network.
I guess so.
So maybe the technical department should at least rescue her from that challenges presently. Rachel, how are you? You're welcome back.
Thank you,
Happy
sir.
Mother's Day.
Thank you, sir.
And what's so special about mothers? What's so special about, because very soon you will be one.
I think what makes mothers special is the sacrifice they make. I'm not saying fathers do not make sacrifices too, but mothers tend to make so much more of the sacrifice. Yeah. They sacrifice their body, giving birth, they sacrifice their time, they sacrifice their career, because most of the part of nursing children, the mothers are mostly in charge. Just like Pastor Mrs. Adeleke was about explaining. Understand the fact that
Okay, please, can you hear me now?
yes, we can hear you, man. You're
Oh,
welcome
madam,
back.
we can hear you.
Hello. I guess you have that sorted.
So as she's battling with her connection, can we just continue?
All right.
I ask you, what makes mothers special?
The sacrifices they made, as I was saying,
The sacrifices.
mothers, yes, they sacrifice a lot more. They sacrifice their bodies to carry the baby for a whole 9 months, the whole emotional trauma, the whole hormonal changes, their changes in body structure and all. And even most mothers actually sacrifice their careers to actually nurse their children. Now to make more time to nurse these children, because you can't expect the fathers to be home 24/7 to look after the kids. The mothers tend to make more of those sacrifices. So they are all heroes without cape. You might not see them with their capes on, but they are all heroes. So I celebrate mothers today. They are all good heroes, and they want to be celebrated
Thank
every
you.
single day. You're welcome, Mrs. Adeleke.
So mothers make the world go round. Pastor Mrs.
Yes.
Adeleke, you are welcome. I think
All
there
right,
is a
thank you.
challenge, there is a problem with your network.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, sir. So what I was saying is this: that when we have such parents,
I think she's having some network challenges. While she is battling with that, technical department, please help her out and reach out to her. Rachel,
Sir.
looking at this generation, do you
Yes,
think
sir.
mothers are good role model for 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 the children at this dispensation? Do you think mothers are good role models?
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. Like my generation, we say they call us the Gen Zs. And there's one truth that I have realized, and that's the fact that the good mothers, the prayerful mothers, the disciplinarians, they have come and they have gone with the previous generations. It's only God that can help my present generations, because I was making a joke with a friend that this current generation is only raising club stars, TikTokers, um, what will I even say then? This generation, of course, we still have, nevertheless, we still have some of my generation who are still standing in Christ, who will be able to raise a good generation. But the sad part of the story is that we are having a larger percentage of our generations who won't actually be good parents, who won't actually be good mothers. They are the ones who claim to be feminists. They are the ones who are up and down the social media these days, claiming for equity and a lot more. I believe God is helping our generation actually, but then.
Okay, Pastor Mrs. Adeleke, hold on, Rachel. Pastor
Yes.
Mrs. Adeleke, you are welcome. Can you hear me?
Hello, ma. Can you hear us, ma? Hello, ma.
Hello, Ma.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us, please? Let's be sure because of our time. Time is fast going. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, we can continue.
I can hear you, sir.
Rachel, can you continue with your question to Pastor Mrs. Adeleke, please?
Yes, as you were saying, ma. I was listening. I'm listening, ma.
Okay, so I said I had a similar challenge.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
so I said I had a similar challenge where.
Go ahead, ma.
Yes. Okay, thank you, ma. I had a similar challenge where I had to leave the house and work for 24 hours before coming back. And then when I tried everything possible, if it can be adjusted, and I discovered it wasn't working out, I had to resign. Because for me, my home comes first before my career. Yes, even though a lot of people said, why will you do that? Why will you resign? I had to do that. I resigned because I believe that the training of the children, the upbringing of the children is for a season. If you miss that season, you won't be able to fill it up. So if I keep working like this, neglecting my role as a mother, all because I want to go out there and bring in money, and then I leave my children today 24 hours, I come back, I'm tired, and it goes on and on like that. At the end of the day, it's going to have a negative impact on these children. So I resigned and I looked for something that I could do. So I feel where it is possible, such a parent can look for something, an alternative. It may not pay them as much as what they were having before, but it will give them the time, to train their children, to be with their children, to impact their children. And where it is not possible, to leave a particular job or get another. Yes, the parents might be tired. You wake up in the morning, you come back late, you are tired. What about your weekend? Yes, if the weekdays cannot work because you leave home as early as possible and you come back late, why not maximize the weekend? So I think such parents should look to the weekend. The weekend should not be a time to party, going from one party to the other, or a time you just want to act to yourself and then you don't want the children to disturb you, just want to be on your own because it's your time to rest. No, because that is only the time you have now to be with your children, to build a relationship with them, to impact them. So that little time you have can go a long way. Thank you very much, ma.
Thank you very much for that answer. We really, really appreciate that. I won't forget you talking about setting priorities, making out time out of no time, maximizing the weekends, and also trying to get alternatives so that parents can actually make out time for their children. I really, really appreciate and I celebrate you. Pastor Adebayo Oseni, do you have any contribution or any further question for our guests, sir?
You are welcome, Pastor Mrs. Adeleke. You are welcome to Impact 45.
Thank you,
what's
sir.
your general assessment of teenagers and youth in Nigeria presently? What's your assessment of the Nigerian youth and teenagers now?
Yeah.
As a
The
mother,
current
you know,
assessments.
as
Yes,
a
sir.
mother, as a
Now,
nurse,
the current
and
assessment.
yes, of the Nigerian youth presently.
Yes. Now, as a mother, I can say, and as a team coach, I can say the current assessment of the Nigerian youth is very, very poor. And what do I mean? You know, a lot of things that these young ones are exposed to currently is really putting a lot of pressure on them. So if you want to assess them now, the current assessment for our youth is very, very poor. For most of them, they are not doing very well. Some of them are actually doing well by the grace of God. I can say that some of them are doing well. But we still have many of them, generally speaking, you know, who are not doing well. They are not doing well. It's poor. Their attitude, in terms of attitude, in terms of character, you know, in terms of their disposition to life itself, it's a very challenging one currently. You know, even in terms of
The parents are
morals,
doing their
in terms
job.
of morals. Sir?
Do you think we, the parents, we are doing our job as we should?
Thank you, sir. Now, I think currently we have parental failure. Yes, sir. Parents are not doing their job as they ought to. And I'm going to explain why. You know, thank God for the question that was just answered. These days, we have career parents. Parents who are just carried away by work. Parents who believe that all a child needs is money. Pay their fees, give them what they want, and that's all. So on the part of parents, we are failing. We are not doing what we are supposed to be doing. Because, you know, again, if you look at it, we have parents who are uninvolved. Looking at parenting now, you know, we have 4 types of parenting. We have the authoritarian. They are parents that just say, this is what you must do. I don't want to hear anything from you. This is what you must do. Now, for such a parent, if you are such a parent, you feel you have left your rules, they must do it. Yes, they will do it, but such child will not be fulfilled. We have the parents who are permissive, and we have it these days. They are permissive, like just do what you want. They are permissive. Mommy, I want this, you can have it. I want to go here, you can have it. I need money for data, take it. They just believe that these children should be satisfied. So it's a failure on the part of the parents. We have parents who are uninvolved. They are uninvolved. They don't even care. So on the part of parents, for these challenges for our young ones, we have parents who are uninvolved. We have parents who care less. They are permissive. We have parents who are just there. They are present, but they are not connected. They are present, but they are not connected. So on the part of the parents, we as parents are failing. Yes, we still have few parents who are doing what they should do. But again, if you look at it, some children are left to themselves. I have an example of a parent who took a child of 4 years, 5 years to the boarding school. To do what? And you are here in Nigeria, and you are here in Lagos, and you can take a child as young as 5 years to the boarding school because you want to be free, because you want to have your time to do what? That's a big question. So on the part of parents, we see parental failure. The parents are not training up. Bible says in the book of Proverbs 22 and verse 6, it said, train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it. The more reason I resigned, because I know that the training is now. Parenting is not forever. Parenting is for a season. Parenting will be over one day. And one day you will give account. When we know this, you know that you can't neglect your roles. So in all of these challenges, again, you see parental failure. As a nurse, I can tell you, parental failure. A patient brought the daughter to the hospital, the only child of the mother, and she was pregnant in SS1. And, you know, we did the test. It was confirmed positive. This girl is pregnant. And we said to the mother, your daughter is pregnant. She said, for what? God forbid. She can't be pregnant. I said, so what do you want us to do? He said, no, we have to terminate it. He said, we are sorry, in this hospital, we don't terminate pregnancy. We don't terminate pregnancy here. And she left. After a while, maybe a month or two, I saw the mother and I asked, madam, how are you? How is your daughter? She's fine. So how about the pregnancy? Pregnancy? I removed it. I said, what? Your holy daughter? Said, no. I can't afford to. How will she come and sit at home? I've spent so much on her. I said, it's okay, but you have not done well. Less than 1 year after that time, this same girl was brought back to the hospital. She was pregnant again for another person. And, you know, pregnancy confirmed again. And the mother said, this pregnancy can't be left to grow. She still went ahead, went somewhere and aborted the pregnancy. Sir, in that case, who is failing? Yes, the daughter has not done well, but I think the mother is to be blamed more. So in some of these things, we see parents failing. So these challenges that are being confronted by our young ones, sometimes, yes, parents have done their part, but sometimes again, you see that parents are really failing. They are failing. That's the truth. Where a mother has a boyfriend, a mother or a father has a girlfriend, what do you say about that? So it's a failure. Also, narrating a scenario again, as a nurse, we had a patient who was admitted, you know, and while on admission, the wife opened the phone and saw the husband's nudity. The husband snapped his own nudity to a female, and she
Rachel, while we are waiting for Pastor Mrs. Yemisi Adeleke, see what she has shared. Who is at fault here?
Largely, the larger portion of this fault will be on. I don't want to be. Wow, how do I judge this?
You don't want to be judgmental?
It's a big one, and I think it's very. I don't want to be very judgmental because it's very common in the community now. But I would say the mother is more at fault. She terminated the first pregnancy. Of course, that will give the child more courage to do another. After terminating the first pregnancy, she thought that was the best corrective measure, which was not the best corrective measure, but didn't put a preventive measure in place. If there had been
the line is breaking here. I'm not
hearing. Go and have the second
Pastor Mrs. Yemisi Adeleke, you are welcome.
You're welcome.
Can
Yes,
you please
sir.
continue? Can you please continue?
Okay. All right, sir. So, you know, the wife saw this,
Yes, ma'am.
and then, when she showed me, I was like, what's this? It was even so bad that a father of 3 children was having sex with a woman that is not his wife and had a video coverage of it. What kind of parents do you call that? If such, you know, a parent have a child who is hearing morally, what will he say? Because one thing is sure, you cannot correct what you are part of. Anything you are part of, you can't correct it. You can only correct what you are not a victim of. But once you're a victim of it, you can't. So such a parent has failed the family, failed the wife, failed the children. So parental failure, where is the training we are giving to these children? What are you saying to them? You know, it is believed these days, parents will do what I say, not what I do. That is not parenting. Children learn more by what they see. And that is why, as parents, one of the ways to overcome the overwhelming challenges of this 21st century parenting is to be a role model. Be a role model. Even without talking, your children can pick from your life. The way you talk, the way you behave, the way you dress, the way you do things, your children are looking. They can pick it. But if you are going the other way and you expect them to go the right way, it won't work. So parents are failing. Parents are failing. Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Pastor Mrs. Yemisi Adeleke. So now, in your assessment, we have concluded our parents are failing. That's why we have the result that we are having now. Let me ask you: is social media a blessing or a curse to parenting, even at this generation? Social media influence, is it a blessing or a curse? Can you hear me?
So I didn't hear that, sir.
I said now, social media. Okay, we have lost her again. She will rejoin us. So, Rachel.
Yes, sir.
You've heard Pastor Mrs. The failure of the parent. Do you think it's easy to rebuke you this Gen Z? How easy it is to correct you? Like now, you are putting the blame on the mother. Don't you think the bulk of the problem and the challenge came from that lady? Can she be monitored 24/7?
She can't be.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. She can't be.
Definitely, she has a responsibility because we've seen people from a very negative background, but they turn out good. You can take a horse to the river, but you cannot force him to drink from the water. Even the one that will lock doors, when they are on their own, when they have the opportunity, they can exhibit what you never knew was there. So how do we mitigate against that in this generation that social media can even influence you and peer pressure? Pastor Mrs. Pastor
Hello,
Mrs. Adeleke, can you hear me? Pastor Mrs. Adeleke, are you there? Can you hear us? Wow, I think the network is just misbehaving today from our end. So, Rachel, while we are waiting for Pastor Mrs. Adeleke, what do you think is the major challenge of the youth of this generation? What do you think? What are your challenges?
I think the major challenges for the youth of this generation, first of all, is criticism, the fear of criticism. A lot of Gen Z.
The fear of criticism?
Yes, the fear of criticism.
Can you explain?
A lot of them actually, they're actually going through a lot of things, but they want to tell their parents. I believe most of them grew up with strict parents that you can't actually walk up to them and say, oh, mommy, a guy broke my heart. The first question is, how did you have a boyfriend in the first place? So for a parent that you know that they must not even hear that you have a boyfriend, how would they even get to know that, oh, you have been lured into partaking in premarital sex and the likes? So the fear of criticism, once your parents, I believe there were some certain age, there were some certain points in my life that I can't dare talk about the opposite gender in my own house. My mom will hear it. You have a boy. Boy, what? It's until they started asking by themselves that, oh, what about, do you have a brother now or not? So I believe it's the fear of criticism. A lot of Gen Zs right now, they are battling with a lot of things. Could be depression. Some people are masturbating. Some people are having peer group pressure, peer group influence and pressure here and there. A lot of them have started venturing into things their parents won't even believe. There is something that happened years back. One of my pastors, one of my former pastors in one of my growing church in my hometown, his son went to school and he started smoking. I think it's peer group influence. He was staying in the school hostel and the guys he was staying with, they introduced weeds to him. But he already blocked every other person from viewing his status except me. He did not knew, he didn't know, sorry, he didn't know I had access to see his status. But all of a sudden, I started seeing his post. He was smoking, he was even selling the weed. He didn't know I was seeing it. There was a time I had to ask one of our friends like that we all grew together in the church that, do you usually see this person's status? Said no. And that, he's no longer on WhatsApp. I said, this person no longer on WhatsApp. I kept quiet. Then I walked up to one of our teenagers, our teenage teacher then. It was one I spoke with. I didn't go to the parents directly. I was like, I saw this. Are the parents really aware? Then he said he will know how to table the matter. So I had to like gather the whole evidences, screen record the videos, take screenshots and everything, gather everything, and I gave to our teacher. Then he had to tell the parents. So the parents were not aware that he was into stuff like that. In fact, he has gone deep into it. But thankfully, they were able to curb the whole issue, and he's doing better now. He has stopped for as much as we know. For now, he has stopped and he's getting better actually. The fear of criticism. I'm sure when he just started, he must have wanted to at a point in time, he must have wanted to tell a person, probably one of his eldest person in their family, or probably the father or the mother. But the fear of how will I say from a pastor of Fagbo, he would not even want to talk. So my generation basic challenge that we are facing is the fear of criticism. Every person wants to be outspoken, but the fear of being criticized is holding a lot of us back. You're welcome, Pastor Mrs. Adeleke.
Tony, before we come to you, Pastor Mrs. So now the fear of being criticized, so things are hidden from parents. Then what do you want the parents to do? Because during my time, there's no more, nothing like depression. Because I believe depression, the excuses of depression at this generation is to escape being punished. You tell your parent in my time that you are being depressed. I was talking to somebody. I said, "Why do you look like this? Why is your face looking like this?" I think maybe my niece or I said, "Why is your?" And somebody told me that she was crying because I said, "Why is your face looking?" There's something strange about the way you are looking. Somebody now later told me because of that. I said, "You look ugly. Why is your face looking like this?" He said she was crying. I said, "You are crying because I said your face is like this." Because you look straight to me, I said your face like this. So the person talking to me said, she can enter depression. I said, with depression? Is it that how many slaps have I given her? This generation don't want us to, they don't want to be touched, they don't want to be punished. When you spare the rod, you spoil the child. What is your view on
Yes, sir.
discipline, Pastor Mrs.?
Yes, sir.
As a discipler of teen and youth, what is
All right.
your view on discipline and punishment? What is your view?
All right, sir. Okay. Now, discipline and punishment. Now, discipline starts from childhood. Discipline starts from childhood. The reason why some of our young ones enter depression or become unhappy when you touch them is because maybe over time that child has not been
I think the connection is somehow misbehaving from both the Rachel and Pastor Mrs. Jemisi Adeleke. Rachel, you are welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, I had a glitch in my network connection.
Okay. Do you want to? I said, what do you ask? While we are waiting for Pastor Mrs. Adeleke, what do you want the parents that was not carried along to do? The parents were blocked. Most of these social media, you guys are using. We are not conversant with it. How do we monitor you? You are in school. How do I monitor you? How do I get access to you when you block me?
Okay, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you. Madam, you're welcome back.
The thing is a little bit.
All right, sir.
You're welcome, ma. It's actually because the parent is strict.
All right.
It still boils down to the fear of criticism. It's because the parents are actually strict. That's why I believe about 90% of the youth we have now, they block their parents before posting some things. Technology has gone wild. They put them on exception. They will see what they want them to see, and they will not see what they don't want them to see. They will post what the parents want to see. And when they want to post what they don't want to see, they put them on exceptions. It's because these parents they know that, okay, my parents must not see you wear this, they must not see you do this, they must not see you do that, because they believe they are strict. So I believe parents should try to be more friendly. They should be more open-minded with our generation. For real. Parents should be more friendly, they should be more open-minded. They should come back down to our level. They should come back down to our level.
What's that your level? What do you want us to do? To allow you to have a boyfriend, to allow you to smoke,
No.
to avoid correcting you, or to draw you closer? How do we draw you closer?
I can't tell you that, sir.
Right, when they make our time to speak with you. You're welcome, Pastor Mrs. Adeleke.
So, Pastor Mrs. Adeleke, one of the reasons why Rachel is giving that our children and our world are very distant to us, that they even block us on social media. How do we make sure that they draw closer to us, and that we are more conversant with their ways, their languages, and that they will be able to notice whatever they are doing? And what do you want? What would be your advice to parents to be able to monitor their youth and teenagers very well? What's the way to go about it?
All right. Thank you, sir. Now, monitoring them is a key factor. And one of the ways we can do this is, one, to get close. We should get close to these children. Get close to them. Yes. Establish a good relationship.
And they are young adults. So some of them are working, some of them they are through with their masters, some of them are even about to get married, some of them are working. And so how do we make sure that they trust us enough to share some of their challenges with us as their parents? Because many of us don't even know what they are going through.
All right. Okay, yeah, that's very key. I think one of the things we can do is, number one, we should show them love and sustain a line of communication with them all the time. Now, when we open a line of communication with them all the time, and then in communicating with them, we make them realize how much we care and love them. It will be easy for them to open up to us. Yes, and I think it starts, even before they leave the house. It's not when they are now on their own now that we are trying to bridge this gap. If this gap was not bridged before they left, or before they became young adults, it's going to be difficult to bridge it when they become young adults. So I believe it starts from the time when they are still with us. In one way or the other, we are able to establish, even though we are parents, we should still establish a friendship, level with our children, so that by the time they leave, now they're out of the house, some of them, about getting married, some of them doing their masters. It doesn't matter, because before they left the house, we've established this bond between the two of us, or between us and our parents. Even out there, it becomes easy, for them to open up to us. If while they were with us, they find it difficult to trust us with any of their issues, if they are no longer with us, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to trust us with any of the issues. So I believe that we should have, an open communication with them, and then show them how much we care, how much we love them, and then give a listening ear to them. Because at such time, you are just a cheerleader. You are no longer a teacher for that child. You are just there as a cheerleader or as a mentor. You can't say, okay, you must do this, you must do that. That period is gone. So, but at that point in time, when we come to this season of their life, we should just give a listening ear and give them wise counsel. When they talk to us and we feel we don't have the right word to say, let's just tell them, don't worry. This is very key. We can help them. And it doesn't matter the level they have, we'll still be able to reach out to them. Thank you, sir.
If I may follow up with that, comparing the way our parents raised us and the way we are raising our children now, don't you think our parents got a better result compared to the result we are getting now? Don't you think our parents, and many of them didn't even go to school, so, and many of them no phone to monitor us. So don't you think that there are things that our parents got right that we are not getting right at this dispensation as parents?
Yes, sir. Yes, so many things. And I'm going to mention one of them. Now, you discover that those days, it was our fathers that were working. Yes. Those days, the work the mothers do were light works. The mothers were not career women like we have in our days. So in a way, our whole parents were able to raise a generation that they are proud of, because while father has gone to work, mother is almost 100% present somehow. So if the father is not there, the mother is there. But what do we have in our own day? Father has gone, mother has gone to work. Nobody's there. Nobody's checking on anybody. You understand? Father goes in the morning, comes up in the night. Mother do the same thing. They come back, they're both tired. And the children, you don't even know what has happened to them while you were away. You even come back, they're not even interested because you are tired. You understand? And the children too, they're not even bothered because now they have the social media to keep them busy. If you like, don't come back for 4 days. Stay there for 1 week. Once there is a phone, once there is data, they will keep enjoying themselves. And while they are doing that, they get to stumble on things that can be detrimental to their overall health. Because we have many things on social media that are not even filtered. So the truth of the matter is the parenting these days, we are not getting it as much as our parents got it. You understand? Because for them, they still created the time. The discipline was there. Just like the question you asked, they disciplined us. It's not in our days now that you just leave the child. Oh, leave him. He's just a child. Leave her. And by the time you try to, raise some discipline, the child is depressed. Why must you touch me? It wasn't like that in our days. When they are beating you, you will still be smiling. Why must you change your face? Well, it's a different ball game now in our own days. So I think they got it right. And that is why parents should go back and go and see where and where are we failing? Where and where are we missing it? You understand? So it was better then. And because then again, information and technology are not taking over our days, then as it was now. So, but these days, with information and technology era, parenting is becoming more and more challenging. So, and that is why as a parent, you must be able to discipline your child, in a way that is correct to the offense. That is another reason why children are depressed when they are punished. When parents now go ahead to give them what is more than what they have done, you are going to be raising a child that is act. You understand? So those are some of the things, these days that we are failing. And sometimes we will put our failure on the children. We are the one that is failing. The failure is from us. By the time you are now facing the child, you will now be talking. You will raise your voice. You will raise your hand as if it's the child that is failing. And you are the one that is failing. Instead of you to talk to yourself and say, hey, I'm the one that is not doing some things right here. I should change. You now put all the aggression on the child. So the Lord will help us, sir. Thank you.
Let me ask you this further question. At what age do you think children should have access to electronic device? At what age?
Hello, ma.
Pastor Mrs. Adeleke, can you hear me?
Thank you, sir.
I said, at what age do you think children should have access to electronic device? At what age? At what age should children have access to electronic device?
What age should they have access to?
Yes, at what age
Okay,
should
like
they have access to
to a
electronic
mobile device.
Yes, at what age?
I think her network is breaking.
Yes, Rachel, can you answer that question? At what age do you think youth and teenagers should have access to electronic? At what age?
For me, I would say from the age of 15.
15?
Yes, from the age of 15.
Okay.
I have my reasons. They can still have the small ones where they can receive phone calls. Probably the parents want to reach out to them that, okay, have you got to know? Is your brother there? Have you guys eaten? Or something. But not the bigger one now where they can access every other thing that are not actually filtered. Back in the days, before mobile phones came in, a lot of children actually...
Wow. Both parties, the moderators. Rachel, okay, you can continue.
I'm back, sir. So back in the days, there were a lot of games that were being played, and children still grew up fine. People were still able to go to school well and still perform wonderfully well. So if parents can actually decide to replace these things with more than enough games, there are a lot of intellectual games that have been introduced now that these children can actually play to pass their time and also help them to grow well, rather than having access to the electronics. They can, even if they are now introduced to the electronics too early, then they should make sure that they are timed. I met a family that these children know automatically once you are back from school and you do your assignments and the other, there are chance to only watch TV for 1 hour. Once their 1 hour is up, automatically every one of them gets up. Whether their parents were there or not, automatically they just get up. They say, no, time has passed. I was told before, but then when I saw them the first time, they were like, we're not watching the TV anymore, we're switching it off. Our parents said we only have 1 hour to watch the TV. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And they were back inside to pick one storybook or the other, they were reading and like that puts them in order. Although that might not be possible for all parents. Speaking of which, I myself, I got access to electronic device. Because even as it is now, even when the parents don't buy, the children go ahead to save their own money. They save their own pocket money to buy. And they will keep it, they will hide it and be using it. Actually.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel, for that. Pastor Mrs., as we are bringing the program to a close, at what age, if you can hear me, should children have access to mobile device and why? At what age? So now I believe that the connectivity at your end, Pastor
All right,
Mrs.
sir.
Adeleke,
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
I think we're having challenges with your network. We can, you are not hearing us, neither are we hearing you. It's like you are frozen.
Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, we are hearing you right now. I said, at
Okay.
what age children have access to electronic device like phone or tablet? At what age
Okay.
and why?
All right. Now, I think the age can be defined strictly. And this is what I mean. As a parent, now let me quickly say this. Now, there is this thing that parents do that from childhood, maybe a baby who is crying now, you begin to put phone before them to stop them from crying. You use it as a kind of diversional therapy for them. Now, that is not good enough. I'm going somewhere because sometimes you discover that from a very young age, from baby, a child has been used to the screen because the mother is always placing it before them to distract them, or to keep them from crying. And when that child grows, wants to be addicted to mobile device. Now, at what age should a child have a mobile device? Now, a child in primary school, for example, has nothing to do with mobile device. Yes. To have a mobile device of their own, no. If they have an assignment to do, let them do the assignment and leave the mobile device. In secondary school, yes, some of our children now, they use the mobile device to teach them. Yes, they can have it, but it must be strictly for study. Strictly for study. And that is why parental control is very important. So, but when it comes to having a device for a child, like, okay, this is your own personal mobile phone, you can have it. You must ensure that the child you are giving this device to is matured enough in your own assessment to handle it. And that can be a primary school child.
Okay.
So it must be in the assessment of the parent.
Okay.
It
Thank
must
you,
be
Pastor
in the
Michi.
assessment of the parents. Sir?
Okay. That is, it should be regulated by the parent, parental control on such device. So now let me just follow up with this question as we are bringing the program to a close. This generation, often at times we said they should go into courtship and later into marriage. And they insisted that they want to do dating. Can you hear me? Rachel, but you can hear me.
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, madam, I think it's your network. Often at times when you talk to this generation that no dating is not encouraged. There seems not to be different from it. What's your view about it? That they want dating, we want courtship that leads to marriage. How well will you advise this generation that are listening to you? The dangers of dating or going straight to courtship and into marriage. What will your assessment of that be?
You mean myself or Pastor Mrs. Adeleke?
I think Pastor Mrs. is not hearing me. You can just go ahead. What is your view, Rachel?
My view
As we
about
bring
it's because of the experiences of people and majorly what has been going on around in the world. So the dating phase, most especially for my generation, we just believe it's just a phase where you get to know this person properly and you get to assess this person if you're actually compatible before deciding to move into courtship stage. That is why we get a lot of stories about the dating. We get a lot of stories about the dating problems and the life. So the dating itself is just my generation that have misused the term dating. It's just a phase where you build friendship because every relationship is meant to be built on the foundation of good friendship. Dating is just that phase where you build good friendship, you know the person and assess if you are compatible before you start your courtship that will lead to dating. So if you are dating and then you get to know that you are not compatible, then you guys can go your separate ways as it is. So for my generation, they've only misused the term dating. They've started involving things that are meant for the courting stage in the dating phase. That is why a lot of them are being heartbroken these days.
So what's the difference now between courtship and dating?
For courtship is the phase where both partners are working on each other.
To take it higher,
To take it
more
higher
commitment.
to marriage phase. To the marriage phase. When you are courting a person, you know there's no going back. You guys are heading towards the end, which is marriage itself. Dating, you are still assessing each other that okay, then we will court each other. Okay, then we enter into the courtship stage. That is basically the difference. Dating is just the foundation where you make friends, where you become each other's friends. But courtship, that is the next phase. That leads
So
to the end.
if I may ask, now where do God comes in?
God has to come in from the beginning. God must not be left out in any phase. It takes God to actually see that, oh, this person is the one for me. You can actually be friends and you guys can court. There won't be any further heartbreaks like that. Once God is involved from the beginning, yes, there is more direction because we are not trusting on our own understanding, but we are relying totally on God, who actually gives us wisdom to do things right. So God should
So
be involved
it
right from.
suggests that during dating you can have multiple dating.
I do not support multiple dating.
But because what you're having is not serious now, it's just friend, nothing attached.
Nothing attached. Of course, one can have friends.
So you can, okay, as you are in stalking stage, dating somebody, you can also be dating somebody else.
No. Whoever one wants to
Mr.
put
Adeleke, our time is fast spent. So now because of the network, please, is dating encouraged, and why not?
Okay, sir. Yeah, dating is not encouraged.
And why?
Dating is not encouraged. Yes. Now, because when you keep dating, the possibility is that you may eventually miss who you are supposed to marry. Yes, that's the truth. Because when you date this person, you try to assess, oh, I'm not satisfied. You date another person, or in my own assessment, I'm not satisfied. At the end of the day, you just be doing, a game. It will be a game. So if you want to go into a relationship, now be sure you are mature to go into a relationship, into a meaningful relationship. And then the Bible says, in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So if you go to God and you allow God to lead you, I believe you don't have to date 10 men before you pick your husband. You don't have to date 10 ladies before you pick your wife. Allow God to guide you. If God is the one leading you, if God is guiding you, I can tell you that you will be at the center of his will for your life. And when you are into that relationship, you'll be serious. You know that this is a serious business. I'm not just here to do a play girl or a playboy. No, I'm here for a serious business. And then you take it very serious and you work that way. But if you just want to go into dating, let me date this, date that, at the end of the day, you waste your time, you waste your energy, you waste your resources, and at the end of the day, you may even miss the right person for you. So wait until you know you are ready for a relationship. You are ready to get married. You are ready to get married in the next 1 year, 2 years. So go into a real relationship. There's no room for dating.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor Mrs. As we are running up now, what is your final advice to the parents and to the children? As we are just in 1 minute. In 1 minute, your final advice to the children and the youth themselves and
All
to
right,
their parents.
the concept, yes, to parents now, we should be more.
With that, we have come to the end of Impact 45 for the month of February. Pastor Mrs., can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you
I
finish
can hear you, sir.
your sentences?
Sir?
I said your advice to the parents and to the
Yeah.
children and the youth as we are running off.
Yes, sir. Yes, I said to the parents, we should live as role models to our children, and we should take it up to train them as we ought to. We should raise them in the fear of the Lord and develop more intimate relationship with our children. And for the children, please listen to your parents. Your future is their past. So when they speak, listen to them, and the Lord will help them to get you right in Jesus' name. And I pray for us as parents, we will not fail. And for the children too, the Lord will help us to stand and be who has ordained us to be in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
We have come to the end of today's edition of Impact 45 for the month of March, year 2025. Pastor Mrs. Yemisi Adeleke, we want to take this opportunity to appreciate you for your time and your contribution. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
And once again, we want to say happy Mother's Day. I want to say to all the mothers, we appreciate you. Your role and responsibility as a mother are priceless, cannot be delegated. So we say thank you to you, our mothers. I wish you well, and you will reap the fruit of your labor. I want to thank you, our viewers. Join us at the end of the month of April for Impact 45. The last Sunday in the month of April is another day for Impact 45 for the month of April, the last Sunday from 6:15 to 7 p.m. We are sorry for interruption of the network, and we want to say thank you. See you in the last Sunday, the month of April. Keep on making impact wherever you are. Thank you, and God bless.
Amen.
Thank you, madam. See you again.
Yes, sir. All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.